The last days is revelation. Revelation is clarity. In the end, God said that the veils will be removed, and then Jesus will come for his bride. Y'all so caught up. He said, those who have ears, let them hear. You let the enemy convince you to look in the sky for one man to come. Now let me say that again. Y'all had him to convince you with the image of a man of white skin and blue eyes that's going to come from the sky. Because you know that Jesus said when he left that it's better that I leave now, because the one man that comes after me will baptize you with fire. Wordplay. One man that comes after me will baptize you in fire. So Satan had to convince you to look for a man. One man coming from the sky. And he gave you one man image versus a woman. What do you think the witch trial crap was about? No one talks about that. These were spiritual women, the feminine energy doing what they were supposed to do. Take care of their mother, the daughters of the earth. Goddesses is what replenish this earth. We pray, we plant, we put our hands and we out in nature with our mother. That's why our cycle is based off the moon. The fish navigates in the water based off the moon. And my mother knew this so well. Have anybody ever understood why the only grandchildren around her, she liked the little girls? Because she drained their power for beauty and health with her spell work and her food. That's why my whole life she shut me up. She took me to go get experiments on because they wanted to test me. Right here on my hand, I've been cut and I lost every ounce of blood in my body. I was pregnant with my second son, Trey. They called my mother. She was only a few minutes away. She did not come. I had 2 friends in the hospital in Jonesboro, Arkansas. My son Trey was in my stomach. I died on that table. And the 2 friends, Kim, made her soul rest in peace. And the other one, I don't have her permission to put her name out. But it started with an R. They took them to the chapel of St. Bernard's Hospital and told him, your friend is dead. There's records. You can go look that up for my sister. I prayed. And I said, God, no, don't take me now. I haven't built that house for my children. See, I wasn't praying for in a 3D. A lot of people didn't know. But when I woke and rose, they were trying to cut Trey out my stomach when I woke up. They were in the process of cutting my son out when I rose. You think my family stopped there But the spell work? No. My mama has been doing spell work on me my whole life. I remember a time in school, my sixth grade year, right before I moved to the seventh grade. And you know, it is. Seventh grade is like, hey, that's when you go in middle school. That's like, you gotta be on top of your stuff. You know, kids is cruel. So she decided she called me and told me she was gonna just trim my ends because my hair was down my back then. No, she didn't. She cut off all my hair and left me about that much. And then put an S curl in my hair. So you can just imagine all the comments, guys slipping and falling behind me talking about follow the drip. I got tormented in school. When I used to report stuff that the teachers should do to me in school, you think my mother stood up for me? No. No. When a principal in middle school at Reed used to come pull me out the office and paddle me just because one of my aunties slept with her husband. Yeah. All those secret cults that's in Dumas, Arkansas. All them witches' covenants. How many times I've been into a church, raped by the preacher, sacrificed, because you guys try to put a child between me because when I was a kid, you kept taking me through the back door of a doctor office and I kept asking you, why are we going in the back? And you had to tell me to lie to the school like I went to the eye doctor. From a kid, I didn't get my first pair of glasses until I was almost in high school. But you know what? When I wouldn't shut up, you know what you did? You lied to the foster care system, the court system, and said I was this horrible child. It wasn't that. They went and got a reading on the guy I was dating. Initial O. We gonna leave it at that. And they knew he was the twin to my flame. He knew they used to go get readings on me and him, and they seen our destiny. They knew what we were supposed to birth together. That's why that God came and paid you, and you forced me to go with him. I was 15. But anywho, so we gonna never go from there. I'm getting ahead of myself. Once you found out the destiny me and O had, you lied to the foster system, got me locked up in there because I was awakening faster. The longer I was, the closer I was around him, I kept awakening faster and faster. And you know what you did? You got me put away. After you got me put away, you offered him something. My sister. And he bit from the forbidden fruit. That same sister wrote in her diary, praying to the ancestors. I need all the help from the ancestors of the Bowman family, she said. Please forgive me because I slept with Shay Man. Oh, I wasn't there when you was writing it. I had no idea. When I found out about it, it was after the judge sent me through a series of tests because you lied, and found out through all the testing they did and the watching they did that you were full of shit. So we went to court in Star City. Oh, this is public records. You can look it up if you think I'm lying. And the transcript says, the judge told you how horrible of a mother you were. How dare you use the foster system to put a child as great as this, who have not done anything that you said they done, because they did an investigation, and abused the justice system. How many kids you got? You said with her 7. And this is the only one you got rid of. What made her different? You could not say nothing. And the judge told you these exact words. You would take her back. And if I find out you gave her to your sister, brother, and she's not in your house till she's 18, you will do 5 years in a penitentiary. That same thing, I cried out to the judge and said, no, don't take me there. I'll kill myself, then go back there because all the abuse you did. But still in there, it wasn't my plan. It was God's will that I go back in that hell. Because I had to go through all of that stuff you put me through. All the stuff that y'all used to put and make and force me to drink. Every guy I dated, putting stuff in their foods, cursing them. Guys still to this day call me and tell me that you guys actually my own mother went and used to go back and threaten them. Yes, she threatened them. And told them to leave me. And said she ain't no good, she gonna bring you down. And the first thing to do is like, dang, if the whole mama said it, it must be true. But it was not, because they had no idea that she was the head fucking witch. She sacrificed her own brother. You think I'm lying? How did the smokehouse got burnt? She put a candle to it and set it on fire because she was mad. Ask her why she don't know nothing about Grandpa. Why you don't know anything about Grandpa? Why you hate Grandpa, Mama? Because he was a master shaman and he knew you was a snake. You want to know why the practitioner told Grandpa? Why you bring Susie to me? You a healer? Why you come to me? You can heal her. Your powers is stronger than mine. You a higher ranking. You an ascended master. You can go to your knees. You are a God. You sacrificed Isaac. Remember that, Mama? That's why you wanted me to shut up. Or how about the times, Mama, when I used to speak in tongues and prophesize in the house, Mama? And you would tell me, don't show people that. The rest of the world is not like you. You're an alien, Shay. The government would come and cut you open and experiment with you if they knew who you were. Why did you do that? Why would you scare me like that, Mom? You used my love for God against me. God tell you to turn the other cheek, Shay, but the whole time you was preaching to me. and beating Christianity into me. Anytime I pick up a stone and say, Mama, this stone said this. Mama, why nobody praying to God? Mama, you tell me to shut up, lock me. Then when family come around, you guys bring me out. She can speak in any language. She can speak in anybody's voice. She can imitate anybody. Watch. I was a show. Come on, just rattle some money in your pocket, and she can tell you exactly how much money you got in your pocket. Watch. The little games y'all used to play with me. She used to have y'all playing these little games to see if her spells was working. Because she wanted me to forget all the beatings. She didn't want no one to know. You want to know how she convinced the people in the school not to believe me? Every holiday, she used to come to the schools on Christmas, and she'll go to the dollar store and the Dollar Tree and buy these little dolls and trucks for everybody in the class, and buy candies and cakes and bake cookies and stuff and bring it to the school and share and give gifts to everybody that was cursed with witchcraft. She didn't do that for nobody, none of my other sisters, besides my youngest one, which happens to be a Pisces. When I pulled away from my mother and started to move here, my mother put sulfur acid and something else she mixed together, some type of spell, in my bath water. Whatever it did. And then she sat there and watched it to see if it made me sick or have an effect. She went and dug in my trash cans and grabbed all of my trash out of my trash can and put it in another bag and took it to her house. My mother don't like worms, maggots, snakes, anything that crawls on his belly she don't like. My mother don't touch trash. She don't like it like that. But lately, why would she dig in somebody else's trash? She didn't help me move anything. She just came for my trash when I left. I got proof because there was someone there. I got proof because my kids was here to see it. My face was burnt right here. My whole mouth, all of this was burnt. All of this, my legs, everything was burnt. Knees was burnt. And she know I take my spiritual baths. Everybody knows I takes 3 baths a day. So you want to know how to break the spells, work off, get into a spiritual bath. God dang. You was used to go swim and bathe in the ocean and water. Farrakhan, come on. It's time. It's time. It's time. Oh, Lord. I'll tell you this. I'm calling for the Jacobs, whose family sold them into slavery. What about the head witch in California that tried to steal my son Trey away from me? See, I'm here to expose the lifestyle. I grew up in the lifestyle of the occult. I grew up in a lifestyle that the occult used the church as their hiding place. There are back rooms in them churches. That wasn't called live oil, Mother, you was feeding me and my sisters. That was one of your own potions you was mixing stuff together with. And anytime I get into spiritual, why did you think? You think I'm stupid? You couldn't touch my altar, so you had my oldest son burn down my prayer altar. Tricky, 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 tricky. Of course, my oldest child will work for you. You picked a donor. Who paid for that seed? Cain Avery. That's why some people are born in households that don't belong to them. Abel, break the cords. Once that umbilical cord is cut, it's over with. Why, when my daughter was born, you had someone come in the room in the hospital and take my umbilical cord? And then you're going to sew a blanket with my daughter's t-shirts and your t-shirts combined. That's a binding fucking spell, mother. Why you think my mother's a seamstress? And she always make little girls' clothes. She's a head witch of the dark. And that's the reason why my mother would never let me touch. You think I'm lying, and my siblings might think this, but watch this. I proved it to my youngest brother. I told him, I said, hey, bro, watch this. Why is it that anybody can go in mama's room and she won't know they've been there? But I can just walk in the room and not touch nothing and she automatically know I've been in her room. I said, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to prove it to you. I'm just going to touch the top of this and walk out. Watch me when I do it. And the minute she walked in her room, came back, Shay, you've been in my room and you touched this. How can you know what I touched? I used to go in there and try to clean up the little dirt and the stuff and all the stuff off her floor and the strings and stuff. She'll get mad. Don't touch nothing in my room. I was like, well, you got all this dust and dirt. Don't touch nothing. Get mad. She get mad when I go in her room. She always know. I don't care if I just stuck my hand in the door. I can literally stick my hand in the door and stick it out. Say, don't come back in my room. You don't believe me? Y'all know what it is. Y'all grew up in the same house. Y'all heard the same thing. But hey, y'all ate her food too. And it helped some people out in my family. Be thankful. Because see, Mom, you wanted to know why your mac and cheese tastes like vinegar? Well, God said, because the spell work that you put in it, you forgot granddaddy and mother, your mother. The people you was trying to put it on is still their bloodline. Them is still her children. That's why your macaroni and cheese tastes like vinegar and there was no vinegar around. Your spell work don't work anymore. Because I was sent to break the generational curse and I broke it. The day you put that death spell, when you went to that graveyard and my brother called me, my youngest brother called me and said, Shay, I took mom off because I told mom I'm finna move out. Every time he want to move out, she goes to the graveyard and put a spell on him. But let me tell you what happened that day that you did this. Because it's confession time. Okay? You went to the graveyard and you doubled up on your potion. You did. Because your son was about to leave you and you knew your time was near. Which means Shay is awakening. So you had to go back and go get my hair that you've been holding on to for years, mother. Because you need something with my DNA. That's why you need to clean your house. And when you leave someone who did you wrong, take everything. Or leave it all and dust the dust off your shoes. In the public eye, mother, you Jesus, 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 but Jesus said, I don't know you. You know what you gonna tell? I cast demons out. I prophesied in your name. You did, but you was a false prophet on some things too. So he said, get behind him because he know not of you. Trickery, trickery, trickery. A snake. Well, when I posted that little big old black snake from the magazine on my door by my window, you couldn't cross that threshold. Soon as you seen it, you jumped back and you couldn't cross my threshold. And that kind of puzzled me. I'm like, why would she get scared of a picture of a snake? And what made me, as you asked me, what made you do that? Why did you post it right here? That's evil, that's evil, that's evil. That's what you said, but it wasn't. But God had other ideas. I didn't know I was doing it. My soul did it, though. To remind you, your time was near. When I was growing up in Dumas, Arkansas, people used to talk about me because they used to see me in the fields. And they used to say, ooh, look at that crazy girl out there in the fields. Look at her, why is she sticking her hand in snake holes and on Back Street, in that field, cotton fields, where the arrowhead's at. She over there in the fields talking to herself. No, I used to talk to God. Me and God used to walk in that field. I used to walk barefooted. I had no fear. Snakes used to come around there all the time. Animals of the wild attracted to me. They used to call me an animal whisperer. But I'm come to tell the children, God's children that was born of this earth, children of melanin. That is your royalty blood. They have been harvesting you guys. Satan, you're supposed to let him go. And what did I tell you? Don't kill him. What you do? Because you knew the gods have been awakened. The veil have been removed. The gods are awakening. The soldiers here. There were 4 male deaths in my family. And let me tell you, it's going to probably be wrenching for some of my family members, but I got to speak. It wasn't by mistake. That was the 4 seals being broken. Because like I said, on June the 30th, my mother and my son conspired and did spell work against me. And I died in my sleep, and when I rose back up, what scared them is they saw God. My kids testified that it wasn't their mother that they saw in that house. It was somebody different. The police even stated, every time y'all try to do them death spells on me and y'all thought you killed me and y'all look shocked when I walk in the next day and say, hey y'all, how y'all doing? That's why y'all gathered in parties by yourselves and wouldn't include me. You didn't include me. You know why? Because y'all was casting spells. You thought if you had three together, it'd be more powerful. Them seizures I had was them demons and stuff you guys sent to attack me. Why wouldn't I break away from you guys and start actually speaking with what you actually are and start casting you out of my life? My seizures disappear. All the illness disappear. No sickness at all. But that last spell, you went too far. Because the same day I had that episode, my sister had seizures and had to get rushed to the hospital. My brother had seizures and had to get rushed to the hospital. One by one, everybody that you had put a spell on. When I rose back up, I broke the spell off all of them. That's what you didn't know. You know you sacrificed them. Your own brother. You are a sociopath. And you think because you and my son kidnapped my two kids, and because my kids is in the den in the belly of the beast, that I wasn't gonna speak because you're holding my kids and your beast. But what you did not know, baby, from the time they was born, I told them who they were. My children know that they're God's. My children are protected. The troops is knocking at your door, Mama. Knock, knock, knock. See, God was still trying to tell you. He just told you on June the 30th to leave me alone. Then he tried to come back and put a hex in my house, like you did the first time. But you thought I wasn't going to find it. Of course. Because if I said God works with me, you'd think. I'm not afraid of you. I never was. You thought I loved you and stayed around you and helped you and was there for you because I feared you? No. I stayed because I loved you unconditionally. But here's the crazy thing about it that was unknown to you or I, because that's why I love God. He liked the element of surprise. See, the reason why you had to keep me, and I kept staying around you, and God allowed you to keep doing and doing, he's just like Job. Do what you must. That's why you came for me this last time, Satan, because you went back to God and said, yeah, you took your kids from her. I took her kids from her, and she's still praising you. I put spell work on her animals, and she's still praising you. I cursed her children, and she's still praising you. But if you let me attack her body, surely she will reject you to save her own life.